Sorry? Recording, yes.
Good, thank you. Erev Tov, everyone. The Mishnah in Avot said that Asar Nisyonos Nisnas Avram Avinu, the Omad Bekulo. Amongst the Meforshim, there is always a different count as to what the 10 Nisyonos were. Because if we look at his life, there are many, many more than 10 instances of difficulties and challenges that occurred in his life. There are those, therefore, that count that he is trying to obtain land in which to bury his wife, Sarah, as one of the Nisyonos. And we can understand why that would be such a Nisoyon, because throughout the Parsha before, in fact, the two Parshas before, from the beginning of our acquaintance with Avraham Avinu, the Ribono Shel Olam Kaviyachol was promising him, this is your land. The Torah tells him, Kumis halech ba'aretz, go. And all the Meforshim say, the Rashbam and others, that by walking in the land, he makes a kinyan, he acquires the land. It's one of the methods of acquiring real estate is to squat in it, to come here. And now, when he has the necessity to find a plot of land in which to bury Sarah, he doesn't have anything. And he is dependent upon the Bnei Ches. Like many, the Bnei Ches is Omrim Harbe V'osim Ma'at. They promise him great things, oh, whatever you want. Ish lo yichle mimcha. Nobody will hold back. We can wherever kvoras meisecha, whatever piece you want. Nasi Elohim atov b'socheinu. They say you're the Prince of God. But when it came to acquire the land, Avram said that he wanted to see Ephron. And Ephron extracts from him an enormous price. Arba meos shekel kesef. I once read in a book that that would be the equivalent of almost a lifetime of wages of the average person of the time. So that's in the soil. You promised me I would have the land. You promised me that it all belongs to me. And when I need it, when I need a small piece, I have to pay an exorbitant price in order to acquire it. So that's the nisayon of disappointed expectations. That somehow we expect that all sorts of great things will happen. We've been promised that they would, and they don't happen. They don't occur. So people feel disappointed. People feel disillusioned. In the worst case, people feel exploited and cheated. And that's a tremendous psychological nisoyon. And we don't hear that from Avraham Avinu. We don't hear that Avraham Avinu said, "V'ato amarta heitev heitiv imoch." You promised me. Now, later on, we will see in the Chumash that when Moshe Rabbeinu appeals on behalf of the Jewish people, he always employs the fact that you promised us. That you said, it's going to be good. And we see later, Yaakov Avinu says it, when he says, "Atzileni miyad ochi miyad Esav," you promised me that I would be safe. Now he's coming with 400 men to destroy me. We don't find that by Avraham Avinu. And the Meforshim point out that's why it said in the Posuk that we read earlier, "Vehemin ba'Hashem, vayachshaveh lo tzedakah." What does it mean, vayachshaveh lo tzedakah? God thought that it was a generosity on his part. It was outstanding goodness. The generosity was that he did not raise the promise. He did not say, as Yaakov would say, "V'ato amarta heitev heitiv imoch." He didn't say like Moshe, "Loma yomru Mitzrayim lemor." He didn't say any of that. He accepted it. And that's a level of emunah b'Hashem, because then he says that God's promise is valid, even if somehow in this case I don't see it. In this case, it may be absent. And that's a trait that the Jewish people have inherited. Otherwise, we would not be back here in Eretz Yisrael. Because we were driven twice. Everything was desolate and destroyed. There's no hope. You said, and the Jewish people kept the faith that somehow the promise would be kept, and that eventually it would turn out for the benefit of Klal Yisrael. So this Nisoyan, there are many Meforshim say that this is the hardest Nisoyan of all. It's harder than even the Akedah. It's more difficult than Lech Lecha, because this is the Nisoyan of the fact that our expectations that were promised to us seem to be dashed in front of our eyes. They don't seem to have any veracity to it. And therefore, the Meforshim say that's why the Torah goes into the details. Why does it say that? It said 3 times he bows. Every time he bows to the B'nai Ches, it's a dagger in his heart. This belongs to me. We have in our time regarding Jews that owned property or valuables in Poland, let's say, or Lithuania, they pass laws, you can't get it back. It's over, even though it was yours. And that's a subject that is, it's an open wound to these people. I know many of them. I know someone that's pursued it for decades in the Polish court system. It's mine. What do you mean I can't have it? And that's a natural human reaction. It's the way people behave. And that's what makes this Nisayon so difficult, is that Avraham Avinu rises above it. And he pays the price without a murmur. Kesef over la socher, mint condition money, fine, good, done. And now it belongs to him. And we see that even what he bought is contested. We see that today in our world. So that is a great Nisayon. And that requires the Hamin B'Hashem. It requires a degree of emunah that is very, very high and strong. And that's why it says, therefore, that's why it had such a reward to it, because Avraham Avinu is the symbol of that emunah, of that faith, of the fact that even if the expectations are not realized now, there's no doubt that they will be realized, and that Avraham Avinu never complains about it. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Omer Rotza Kodesh Baruch Hu L'Zakos Yisrael V'fichal Chirba Lahem Torah Mitzvot Shenemar Adonai Chavei Tzaman Tzidko Yagdil Torah V'Yadir.
Oh.